Hi, welcome to the Retirement Railroad Matinee Modeling Tip of the Day. And I want to start on a new series of tips related to JMRI. That's Java Model Railroad Interface. And what JMRI does, it allows you to control many facets of your railroad via your computer. There's a few things you got to start with first. Okay, and the first being for me, well, the first thing to do is figure out what DCC systems, that's what we're talking about, DCC railroads, that you're operating with, because you're going to need some hardware to connect between your computer and your DCC system. I run Digitrax, and you're going to hear people say, oh, I prefer this over that, and so forth and so on. And when you're running JMRI, it doesn't matter. Okay? Digitrax is no worse, no better than NCE, which is no worse, no better than Digitrax. Okay? Because those are the two that usually get in a pissing match, so to speak, over which is better. I don't care, because I don't use this throttle. I just don't. Okay? I don't program via this. I don't use it. I don't have to, because it's so much easier using JMRI. For programming, it's called Decoder Pro. And we'll get into what Decoder Pro does in the next tip of the day. But the first thing to do is figure out, based upon your DCC system, what your interface has to be. For Digitrax, it's very easy. You use a PR4. PR3 is the earlier version of it, but a PR4. Okay? And a PR4 is a little module about yay big. I'll show you a picture of one here in a second. That you hook your LocoNet cable to, which the LocoNet cable is just, 6-pair telephone wire that runs your DCC signal to your different aspects of the system, and in return it goes out to the rails. The power, you hook up power to the LocoNet cable, and which connects to any one of the other LocoNet devices, and then the final thing is a USB cord that connects from the PR4 to your computer. Okay, and so let's take a look briefly at how you set that up. When you go to JMRI on the web, you can search and you do the download, it'll ask you to install it. Okay? And you basically name a few things, and then decide what hardware you're using, such as the PR4 in the case of my Digitrax system, and what throttle or LocoNet system you're emulating, and in my case it was DT500. And what COM port your computer's going to use, the JMRI is going to use with your computer to take a look at it. Alright, so let's transfer over here. And I've already downloaded JMRI, and it comes with Decoder Pro, and it comes with Sound Pro, which allows you to download sound files, and it comes with Panel Pro. Okay? And Panel Pro is a whole nother ballgame of how far in to JMRI you want to go. I'm currently working on the Panel Pro, but I've been using Decoder Pro for 10, 11 months. Okay. Matter of fact, I cannot remember ever programming a locomotive using my Digitrax throttle because it's so much easier on Decoder Pro. Right? You simply click on Decoder Pro, and JMRI comes up, and voila, there there's my roster of locomotives, all right, which include DCC, the ID I've given them, which is my initials and road number, the DCC address, the decoder model, the road name, road number, which again is the same, in my case, the same as the DCC address, the manufacturer of the locomotive, model, then the model of the locomotive, and then of course I'm the owner, and the date I last modified it. Okay, and so it's very easy to add a new locomotive, and it walks you right through the steps of how to go. And on the next tip of the day, we'll look at that. Okay, so it allows you to turn your track power on and off. All right, virtually everything you do with your throttle, you can do with JMRI. All right. Like I said, I can't remember the last time I've done any programming. I've run trains with it, but I haven't done anything else. Mostly, I use a cell phone, an old cell phone. This is a Android, so it uses engine driver. My iPhone uses Y throttle, and that's what I use to run trains. Anything else, I come to JMRI. All right, in this case, Decoder Pro, and it makes life so much easier. And so I highly recommend spending the extra money to get the hardware interface. In the case of Digitrax, it's PR4, and we'll walk you through in this series how to set up a PR4, how to use Decoder Pro, and I'm sticking my toes into the water of Panel Pro right now on the operation side. So we'll get into that as time goes. Anyway, like I said, this is just a brief overview. I highly recommend JMRI. It makes life so much easier once you invest a little bit of time in setting it up. So anyway, with that, hey, I want to thank you for joining me here on the Retirement Railroad, and y'all have a great day. Bye now.